Hello, everybody. In our previous lesson, I was talking about Çeşme, as you remember. Now I'm going to continue to talk about it, okay? Well, I'd like to say a few things about Çeşme Fortress, Çeşme Kalesi. This fortress, whose dramatic walls dominate the town center, was built in 1508 and repaired by Sultan Bayezid II, son of Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror, to defend the coast from attack by pirates. And later, the Rhodes-based Knights of St. John of Jerusalem also made use of it. The battlements offer excellent views of Çeşme, and it's good to walk around inside, under arches, up and down the steps, and through towers. And there is also Çeşme Museum you can visit when you are there. Çeşme Museum is housed in the castle's Umur Bey Tower. And this museum displays archaeological finds, mostly coins, from nearby İthri, now Ildırım, and the Bağlararası Bronze Age harbor settlement, and the Roman era gold diadems. Yes. And there are also boat trips from late May to September. Gulets, which are traditional Turkish wooden yachts, offer one-day boat trips to nearby Black Island, Donkey Island, and Wind Bay, where you can swim and snorkel. These boats leave around 10 a.m. and return around 5 p.m. And Pırlanta Beach, there is Pırlanta Beach, Altınkum. Southwest of Çeşme, Diamond Beach, Pırlanta Plajı is good for kite surfing and windsurfing. And back on the main road from Çeşme, you can turn right to reach the increasingly built-up resort of Altınkum, which boasts a series of delightful sandy coves. And there is also a cafe with sun loungers on a clean beach with turquoise water, right where the dolmuşes stop. And there is, of course, Alaçatı. And it's a mere 2 days ago, this village, which is 10 kilometers southeast of Çeşme, was known mostly for its excellent olive oil and world-class windsurfing. But thanks to some forward-thinking hoteliers who turned the dilapidated taş evleri, the stone houses, into high-end boutique accommodation. And Alaçatı has become one of Turkey's hottest destinations for free-spending middle class. At the same time, development has spawned an impressive culinary and social scene, and two food-related festivals are very much now on Alaçatı's calendar. One of them is the Alaçalı Herb Festival, Alaçalı Ot Festivali, which takes place in April, and the new festival of vanishing tastes, Kaybolan Lezzetler Festivali, which examines the region's rich culinary heritage, and it is held in June. Windsurfing in Alaçatı is very famous worldwide, and Alaçatı was discovered as a windsurfer's paradise in the 1970s by a handful of intrepid German campers. Its strong, consistent northerly winds blowing up to 25 knots make it a big hit with the surfing community. The main windsurfing beach, Alaçatı Surf Paradise, Alaçalı Surf Cenneti, is now generally recognized as the prime location outside Europe. For now, windsurfing continues largely unhindered, with the main reason running from midway to the beginning of November, and the Windsurf World Cup takes place here in August. With 7 schools at Alaçatı Surf Paradise, more than 5,000 people start windsurfing here every year, sorry. Okay, we have completed our perusal of the northern Aegean. Now we are going to take a look at the South Aegean, okay? Well, Turkey's sparkling Aegean coast, the southern Aegean coast, boasts 4,000 years old civilization, and it's got the ruins to prove it. The most famous being the capital of Roman Asia Minor itself, Ephesus. Nearby, the ancient ports of Priene and Miletus and the temple Didyma give the complete picture of the Aegean in centuries past. In summer, the coast's population swells as millions of tourists descend on Marmaris, Kuşadası, and especially Bodrum, which is Turkey's most glamorous seaside gateway. On the remote Datça and Bozburun peninsulas, more elemental pleasures await in the rock terrain and fishing villages with spectacular Aegean views. And this coast is most peaceful in spring or fall. Well, when we take a look at the history of southern Aegean, it requires visualizing bays and peninsulas where they no longer exist. Otherwise, the stories of the key ancient cities, Ephesus, Priene, and Miletus, all now several kilometers inland, makes no sense. Before the lazy Minder River, Menderes Nehri, silted things up, these were economically and strategically significant port cities. Bu Menderes Nehri arkadaşlar, Olivyon taşıya eski liman şehri olan bu kentler zaman içerisinde hep içeride kalmış. Yani hep Olivyon kaplamış ve limanlar hep kapanmış ve geride kalmış şehirler ve böylelikle yitirmişler önemlerini. And they fully integrated into the wider Greco-Roman world back when the Mediterranean Sea was dubbed a Roman lake. Geographical changes, however, saw the Aegean coast's centers of power and commerce move to accommodate the subcontinent's evolving contours. Mycenaeans and Hittites were the region's earliest recording peoples from 1200 BC, and more important, however, were the later Ionian Greeks who fled here from Greece, and they founded Ephesus, Priene, and Miletus. Under the Romans, Ephesus prospered, becoming the capital of Asia Minor, while the Temple of Artemis and Didymus Temple of Apollo were spectacular pagan pilgrimage sites. As Christianity spread, pagans, Jews, and Christians coexisted peacefully in the big towns. Most famously, St. John repeatedly brought the Virgin Mary to Ephesus. During subsequent Byzantine rule, the coastal communities maintained their traditional social, cultural, and economic links with the nearby Greek islands. And in the late 11th and 12th centuries, overland Seljuk expansion coincided with crusaders on the move to the Holy Land, along with the decline of the Byzantine navy, which allowed Italian fleets to eventually rule the Mediterranean. Okay, let's talk about Ephesus and around it, okay? Well, more than anywhere else, the Greco-Roman world comes alive at Ephesus. After almost 150 years of excavation, the city's recovered and renovated structures have made Ephesus Europe's most complete classical metropolis. And that's with 82% of the city still to be unearthed. Evet, şehrin %82'si daha çıkmamış ortaya. Ama buna rağmen Avrupa'nın en büyük klasik metropolisi. Evet. As capital of Roman Asia Minor, Ephesus was a vibrant city of over 250,000 inhabitants. Counting traders, sailors, and pilgrims to the Temple of Artemis, these numbers were even higher, meaning that in Ephesus, one could encounter the full diversity of the Mediterranean world and its people. So important and wealthy was Ephesus that its temple of Artemis was the biggest on earth and one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Excavations are ongoing with new surprises popping up as archaeologists continue to dig. In 2007, a gladiator cemetery was discovered near the stadium, and a Roman-era synagogue remains reportedly lie behind the library, And these are among several areas where new discoveries may be made. When we take a look at the early legend of Ephesus, we see that the 10th century BC Dorian incursions forced Androculus, who was an Ionian prince of Athens, to seek a safer settlement. First, however, he consulted the famed Delphic oracle, which foresaw the fish, the fire, and the boar as markers of the new Ionian city. After crossing the Aegean, Androculus and his crew rested on the Anatolian shore and cooked a freshly caught fish. It was really fresh, in fact, that it jumped out of the pan. The toppled coals set the nearby bushes ablaze, smoking out a wild boar that Androculus chased down and killed. And on that very spot that he killed the boar, he resolved to build Ephesus, near today's ruins of the Temple of Artemis. The Temple of Artemis aroused the envy of Lydia's king Croesus, who attacked in around 560 BC. Autocratic Croesus relocated the populace inland, where the new Ephesus was built near the temple's southern edge. However, the Lydian king also respected the cult, funding the temple's reconstruction over the next 10 years. Everyday life continued as the Ephesians paid tribute to Lydia and later to Persian invaders. Ephesus revolted in 498 BC, sparking the world-famous Greco-Persian War, which briefly drove out the eastern invaders, and Ephesus joined Athens and Sparta. However, in the later Ionian War, Ephesus this time picked the losing side and was again ruled by Persia. In 356 BC, Herostratus burned down the Temple of Artemis to make sure that his name would resound forever, will be remembered forever. But the disgusted Ephesians elders executed Herostratus and declared that anyone who mentioned his name would also be killed. A new temple, bigger and better than anything before, was immediately envisioned. And in 334 BC, Alexander the Great, who admired Ephesus greatly, to pay for construction if the temple would be dedicated to him, not Artemis, but the Ephesians, who were fiercely protective of their goddess, declined. And when completed, this temple was recognized as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. And later, Ephesus became Roman in 133 BC. Augustus' decision to make Ephesus capital of Asia Minor in 27 BC proved a windfall for the city. Its population grew to around 250,000, drawing immigrants, merchants, and imperial patronage. The annual festival of Artemis became a month-long spring party, drawing thousands from across the empire. Yet Ephesus also attracted Christian settlers, including St. John, who supposedly settled here with the Virgin Mary. Well, Ephesus, we can take a look at Ephesus in 2 parts, upper and lower Ephesus, okay? And in the upper Ephesus, there are various spots, and they were situated at the main entrance to the ancient city, so that visitors could wash before entering, get rid of their dust and sweat, and come into the city clean. And these baths stand at the entrance to Upper Ephesus. Greco-Roman baths also served a social function as a meeting and massage destination. And Upper Agora is in Upper Ephesus as well. This large square once used for legislation and local political talk. And it was flanked by grand columns and filled with polished marble. In the middle was a small temple of Isis, which was the testament to the cultural and trade connections between Ephesus and Alexandria in Egypt. Okay, in my next lesson, I will continue to talk about Ephesus, okay? And I'll see you there. Bye-bye. Take good care of yourselves.